Hello everyone, that Manga Kid here to give my review of Summer Ghost, the manga collection. The manga is by Yoshi Inomi. This is an anime film, I believe, and also a light novel, I think. I've clearly not consumed either of those other versions, but I saw this in the bookstore actually. I hadn't heard of it, and saw it in the bookstore and went, oh, I really love the cover. I think it's just very visually stunning, and it piqued my interest, so I added it to my list of things I wanted, and then a few months later when there was a sale, I decided to buy it. It seems to be probably like 2 volumes in length in this one omnibus volume here, and it's released by Seven Seas. It's got a really nice spine as well. The art really piqued my interest. I love the character designs. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like Asumiko Nakamura and some other like, I'm trying to think of some other creators that this art kind of like, it's all like mixed together with some of the like creepier, long, thin kind of body with angular sort of faces and stuff. Like Scum's Wish, like that sort of artwork too. Like it's all kind of an amalgamation of a bunch of different creators that I really love their art. And so that's what really piqued my interest about this series was the artwork. I really didn't know much about the story. But anyway, so this series follows 3 high school students. They don't go to the same school or anything. They met online, and they're meeting up to go and check out if this urban legend is true. Apparently there is a ghost girl out in an airfield outside of town, and if you go on a specific night, you can summon her. And so they want to go and see if this is true. And so they all meet up. They don't really know anything about each other. Other than that, there's clearly some underlying fascination or closeness to death amongst the 3 of them. And then obviously this fascination with this ghost. So they meet up. Of course, they summon the ghost. And the story kind of takes off from there, following these 3 different teenagers as their lives kind of intersect, but then part ways here and there. And you get to learn about the backstories of these 3 and what brought them to that moment together and how they're going to move forward from it. And so this is something, I really enjoyed this now. I think I would have absolutely loved it when I was a teenager as well, because it's reminiscent of a lot of those stories of mental health struggles and different sort of like teen angst and just trying to deal with really the everyday pressures of life as a teenager, and then also some more serious issues that are underlying and going on in their lives. But yeah, no, I really, really enjoyed this. I thought that it was well told. I, again, love the artwork. I think this isn't necessarily anything spectacularly special in a sense that I feel like I've read this story before several times over in like different series, and that these characters aren't particularly special in that, again, I've seen these characters in so many different manga over the years. However, it didn't take away from my enjoyment of it. I thought it was still really interesting and engaging to read, and I personally am not bored of that sort of story, and I'm not bored of that sort of character. And so when it's coupled with artwork that I really enjoy, I think that it was still a worthwhile read. I would be interested in the anime if I can get my hands on it, but it's not something I'm going to like hunt down, and I need to watch this second. but yeah, no, I think it's generally, if you like stories about young people struggling with their mental health and trying to overcome that and finding solace or camaraderie amongst other people who are dealing with similar things, but then also this like the nature of mental illness is that even when you find other people who are going through similar things, it's still difficult to connect. And so you have the three different perspectives of like one of them wants to see the others again, whereas, you know, the closeness that they're starting to feel in terms of friendship is scary to to one or two of them as well. Um, and so the withdrawing from the friendship because it's just too much to handle is, I thought, pretty realistic, and um, I appreciated the way that this was all portrayed. Um, but yeah, no, I thought this was excellent. I'm glad I picked it up, and I will certainly revisit it. Um, it's it's a good story for a single volume, and I think that if you're looking for just a quick read, that's all contained. It's not a big investment money wise or time wise. This is a nice one to read. I also found it was interesting that they were strangers at the beginning, because a lot of the times, like, there was a bit like it was a bit reminiscent of like the Golden Sheep, for example. But in that story, all of the characters were friends previously and are now coming back together. Same with like Anohana, um, that one as well, which is an anime that I really love. That one again is characters who were friends previously and are now coming back together, whereas this one, while exploring similar themes, is a group of people who never met previously, and we are starting off the story with them all meeting for the first time. And so they don't have any backstory or baggage about each other or past relationships amongst the group. So it was a bit different in that aspect. But yeah, I thought that this was certainly well done, definitely worth a read. Um, and yeah, I would suggest picking it up for sure. Um, yeah, I really personally like the character designs. I think that their facial expressions are interesting and dynamic, and that the way that the movement of it is all very aesthetically pleasing to me. But yeah, anyway, if you've read this, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If it is a light novel, which I think it is, and then if you've seen the anime, I would love to hear your thoughts on those versions as well, in comparison to the manga. And yeah, thanks for watching.